Okay, so my question for you is, I guess in a nutshell, in general, how can I get a little more clear on my future and what that path looks like without getting anxious about the future?
Okay, so you'll never get clear about the future because the future is unknown. So the job is to stay in the present, fully live this moment, and then the next moment will appear. And you can do all the planning you want for the future, but then life happens. And so it will never be, because when you're planning it, you control all the variables. So, but then between then and when the future happens, there's life that comes in. So there's no way it can happen the way you're going to plan. But if you want to, you can. But the truth of the matter is that if you live fully this moment, the next moment then manifests from this moment. And that's really the fundamental nature of the journey, is to live moment by moment by moment. Now, we all have to plan things. We live in a society that's very future oriented. And so we do and we plan, but we recognize very deliberately that it will never be that way. So that's my advice to you, which is you can, if you stay in the moment and fully live this moment and fully get what nature wants you to do to get from this moment, then the next moment will be natural and
Yeah. Okay.
clear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds easier said than done. You know, when the monkey mind gets going, it's like a to-do list and it's never ending. And
But
sometimes, yeah, go ahead.
the one thing that we didn't talk about, which is really important, is that you have a choice as to where to put your attention. So you can choose it on the to-do list and the stories and or you could choose it on being in the present moment. You have, because you're a human, right?
Mm.
Okay, well, all humans,
Yeah.
okay, all humans have the capacity to choose where to put their attention. So you have to take control of that. The way that I look at it is it's all these little pixels, and I grab my arms and I put them all around the pixels like this. I don't let any seep out into a reaction or any seep out into fear or any seep out into guilt or anger. I choose where to put them and how long I'm going to put them there and how many I'm going to put them there. And that's one feature that most other sentient beings don't have.
Yeah.
So that makes us unique as a species, but nobody knows how to do it. They just go into reaction here and they get crazy here and they feel guilty here, but they really don't recognize that they have the tool. It is on the DNA that will totally transform that capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And feels?
And feels, I guess like confirmation that everything will be okay and that all I have control over, if I have any control at all, it's of this moment.
So I want to stop you for a second because you use the word will. Everything will be okay. That's a future word. I don't listen to the content of what most people say, but I listen to where the content takes them in time and space. So that's a key shift that people have to make as they learn this work. But everything is okay. Not will be okay.
Yes. Everything is okay. Yes. Yes.
Very much healthier response.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. You're very welcome. But the point is that you really have to. I was talking to another client earlier this morning, and I said to him, you have to get this thing called the mindfulness bell. And it's an app, and it rings randomly during the day. And when it rings, you ask yourself a question, okay? The question is very simple. It's where am I? And I don't say Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or I don't know where you are. Where are you in real life?
In Chicago.
Okay, so you don't say Chicago. You say I'm in the future, because you listen, you shift your attention to where you are, where the story is taking you, or you're in the past, or you're focused on other people, or you're doing negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of those four because that's time and space. So once you identify where you are, then there is a feeling that created that thought. So you'll come back and you'll put your attention, take it off the silly thought and put it on the feeling, which jumpstarts the superior intelligence of the body, and the body does the rest because it's so intelligent and so enormous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like the smile. You have a really nice smile. You really do. So uh, are you smiling because you really get that this is possible, that it is possible to live in the I am and know where you are in time and space at all times? It's just a whole new paradigm.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there are moments where I have that confirmation that I'm in the moment, that I am, capable of anything and everything. I am all of these things. And then, I don't know, life happens the next moment and the to-do list pops back up and I have to go back to work and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, how can I balance this to where my natural state of being and living is in the here and now and the I am.
Very good. First of all, you said the I am about 3 or 4 times. It was really nice versus I will. You said I am. So I like hearing that. That was very so the way you do it is that you make conscious, deliberate choice. Because we live in a society that's future-based, like if I have to plan a trip, I have to call the airlines, I have to leave the present moment and go 2 weeks out, but I'm deliberate. I know I'm doing it. I know I'm not being with nature because nature wants me to have this moment. But because we live in this society, we have to balance and we have to choose deliberately to leave. And once we finish our business in the future, we come right back to the present. Or once we finish our business in the future with other people, we come right back to the present. We are choosing how to participate with our own energy, moment by moment by moment. And it is true, we lose the information from the present moment at that time because that's where nature wants us to be. However, we also get the goodies from, well, not so much anymore, but there used to be a lot of goodies from society that we used to get. But we still get some. And so the point is that you are in control of your choices. It's all about choices.
Yeah.
And when you choose to stay in the here and the now, when you choose to stay in the I am, your mind is quiet and you're listening to the information from your body. It's a whole different trip. And you know what happens? When you're thinking about something, you get information or data. But when you're in the present moment, you get information or pattern. The data bits and it integrates them for you. So it's clearer, it's more focused, it's easier to intuit what makes sense and which way you should go. It's just easier because a rabbit knows how to be a rabbit and a lion knows how to be a lion and a cat knows how to be a cat. They just do because that's who they are. But humans don't know how to be humans because they don't follow who they are. They follow what the culture tells us we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so, but it really is simple to shift back once you have awareness. The only tough piece is that you have to give up some of your belief systems that you hold dear and dear and true to your heart, okay? Like I tell many of my female clients that they should go to Barnes and Noble and buy the little golden book called Cinderella. And they should get Cinderella and then go to a nice safe place and make a little fire and burn it. Because there is no such thing as Prince Charming who's going to come on the horse and make it all better. But most women I know believe that there is. And are just waiting around and buying makeup and clothes and get dressed up so that they can meet that Prince Charming who's going to take them and make it all better. So, but it's a nice ritual to do, to get the book and burn it because that really isn't how it works. And it's nice if you have somebody who can be helpful and a partner, that's fine. But there's no one on the white horse that's going to come and make it all better. It's just, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in the Cinderella, book, movie, whatever, you remember that scene where she walks into the ballroom and all of the women are dolled up and they have their fancy dresses on and they want to be chosen by one man. And I feel like that still kind of filters into our society today, where some females that I know still have that like want to be chosen concept. That's how they live their life by.
Ooh.
And I don't know, just coming back to the I am, if we want to be chosen by someone else, like we're never choosing ourselves, we're never whole with ourselves. So just a thought that came to mind.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a really wonderful ideation about relationship is that we have the right to choose, and we have the right to be okay all by ourselves.
Yeah.
And that you might want somebody, and actually, for example, Monday I have to go get a tele exam, and I have to figure out who's going to take me and things like that. So it would be nice to have a partner, but it's okay, because I'll figure it out, and I'll Uber, I'll do whatever I have to do. But the point is that the story becomes the reality.
Yeah.
You see, and that's the story that you play in your head. If I get this blouse, if I wear this makeup, then he'll be there coming. And the men have it too. If I buy this car, I'll just find that beautiful woman who's laying on that car comes along with the car. But then you buy the car, there's no woman that's coming along with the car. So the whole idea is to give up the belief systems that our culture has inculcated into our systems of perception, and to just trust that the universe has your back. And because there's one other little story, which is that, there are 8 billion sperms, 8 billion. And that one sperm who got into that egg when your parents or whoever it was doing what they were doing at that moment in time, meant that that's who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you already won the lottery.
Yeah.
Okay, but most people don't feel that way. They want to know that what's in life is the lottery, not that they have one.
Yeah.
So once you recognize that you've won the lottery, then your job is to manifest what your purpose is, because that sperm didn't do that. It looks random because it's 8 billion. I mean, it really looks pretty random, but it's not random, because the quantum field is found that sperm to hit that egg and give you what it is that you need to be you. And when I just think it's such a yummy story, because it makes it all make sense. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
so you don't have to unlike your eyes, or not unlike your height, because this is who nature wanted you to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes me always feel good. I'm so glad I'm feeling good, because about 15 minutes ago I was not feeling good.
We're manifesting. You feel good in this moment.
In this moment, I feel very good. So does that answer the basic sort of question that you have about the future?
It does. Yes. And I just had something else that was coming up. I think that being in the moment as much.
So you start your sentences with the words "I think."
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want you to be aware of that, because
Okay.
that reinforces you going cognitive.
Okay.
Say "I think," or "I sense," or "I intuit," or any other word but "think" will do. Okay, and everybody says to me, "Okay," and they shake their head like you are. "Okay, I'll do that," and then the next sentence out of their mouth is "I think," because it's a pattern, it's a habit. But if you get awareness of it, you'll be able to shift it.
Okay.
So what's the next question?
Okay, I am working on that.
Good.
Something that came up was more about my purpose, and I guess some moments I feel very clear on what my purpose is, and it really lights me up inside. Other moments I'm like, that's all wrong. I don't know. And feel like I get to a point where I'm so desperate to figure that out. And it's almost like I get this visceral response from my body that if I'm not living in alignment with my purpose and what I want to be doing and all the passions, I feel just so out of alignment. I feel like I'm almost betraying myself. And so I'm just trying to get I am looking for clarity around my purpose or how I get there.
So there's this wonderful quote by Rilke, which says, "Love the questions. Do not search for the answers yet, because you're not yet able to live them. Leave the questions now as if they were locked books or locked rooms or books written in a foreign language. Do not search for the answers yet, for you're not able to live them. Live the questions now. And that in the far distant future, without knowing it, you will live your way into the answer." And whenever I self-doubt myself, I always live my question, because there's always new data and there's always new information and there's always things that put it into wobble a little bit. Or I set up a meeting today with somebody and about taking the next step in terms of scaling my work. And his question to me was, why do you want to do that? And I said, because it's my purpose. And I would like to be on this earth to see it happen. I might not be on this earth to see it happen, but I would like to, and I'd like your help to help me do that. And so, of course, he agreed to have the meeting. But I felt it was a good question, and it was smack straight between the eyes. What is your purpose? So, but I've lived a long time, and I've lived many years, and I believe that I'm very clear on my purpose now. But how old are you?
31.
How old?
31.
So you have really, not that I use linear time at all, but you have been here a very short period of time. Yeah. So to expect that what your purpose is a smidge, I'll use this word, but it's not really the right word, arrogant, because you're 31 and you have so many wonderful things to look forward to. It's like a diamond in the rough. You sort of know what your purpose is, but you got to shine it up, and you got to take the little cloth, and you got to make a little cut here and do here. And as you grow and grow, it will become clearer and clearer and clearer what your purpose is. So relax into the questions and love the questions.
Yeah. I love that. That's so beautiful. And it also ties into, my first question, and more of a comment about it, about getting anxious about the future. And so
stop, because you use the word, which is a very important word. Okay. You have charged anxiety as a bad thing. Right? Yeah. Culture has charged all feelings as bad.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, feelings are information from your body that it gives you all along to create an action to keep you in homeostasis, because that's when you function at your best possible body that you can be and person that you can be. So anxiety, no wonder the culture has charged anxiety negatively, because if you don't use it the way nature intended, you won't be able to get back to your place of self-powerment. But anxiety is the most fundamental feeling that lets us know that we're losing our focus. So all we have to do is pay attention to the anxiety, and everybody tries to get rid of it. And they take pills for it, and they run away, and they go shopping, and they do all sorts of, take a bath. Whatever they do, they want to run away from the anxiety. And what the body wants is the exact opposite. It wants you to pay direct attention to the anxiety, because it's a force. And your attention is a force, and it jumpstarts the anxiety, jumpstarts the superior intelligence of the body. And once you pay attention to it, it recalibrates you back to the present moment. That's how powerful anxiety is. But but look how you use it. It's like a terrible thing. It's awful. And so the culture got you.
Yeah.
So just totally understand that it's the exact opposite. Anxiety is what is the most fundamentally beautiful feeling we have. And of course it's uncomfortable, because it wants you to pay attention to it. If it was comfortable, like, you wouldn't pay attention to it. Like, I could not pay attention to what was happening to me at 3 o'clock. It was very uncomfortable. So anxiety is also uncomfortable, but it wants you to pay attention to it. That's why it's uncomfortable. So you pay attention to it, and then it does its function, and it dissipates, and you find yourself right back with your experience of your tush on the seat, and your feet on the floor, and your computer in front of you, and a beautiful view outside, and you're back in the present. That's what that is. Of course, the culture has figured that out and said, "Oh no, it's terrible! Don't you dare pay attention to it. Take 3 anti-anxiety pills Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday." It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So when anxiety strikes,
yes,
just being with anxiety,
yes,
or just breathing through it, and just, welcoming it rather than running away.
Paying attention to it. It's like the symbol for anxiety is these butterflies in your stomach. Because anxiety sits right in your gut, which is the superior intelligence of your body. So you put your attention on the butterflies, and you start off by saying, how many are there? Are they different colors? Are they flying around? Because your attention will go from the worry, which you're already anticipating, to the internal workings of your body. That jumpstarts the superior intelligence of the body, discharges the anxiety, and you're right back to the present moment. So,
Mhm.
and eventually you won't even need the butterflies because you'll know the true feeling. But right now, use the butterflies.
Okay, got
And
it.
it's really, I have testimonials about that, but it really is so freeing.
Yeah,
Because what nature wants you to do with anxiety, it doesn't want you to take pills. It doesn't want you to spend millions of dollars. It doesn't want you to get depressed. It wants you to use it.
yeah,
Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah, yeah. It's such a beautiful way to look at that too. And my goodness, I've been running away from anxiety. No wonder why I'm so tired.
No, no wonder you're so tired. And so that leads to one more definition, which is the operational definition of depression. Depression is just using your energy in unhealthy ways. So that when you do look at your to-do list, you don't have enough energy to do it. The resultant feeling is depression. It's not this thing, this gloom and doom thing, which comes over you and is dark and all. That's made up by the culture too.
Yeah,
It just is a use of your energy in the wrong way. And you just articulated that beautifully. You really did. Because if you're using it to run away from your anxiety, and
yeah,
then, and you get anxiety a lot because people are always, trying to anticipate the future and rather than just be in the present. And so that whole use of energy is unhealthy.
yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness. And that I've never thought of looking at depression in that way before. I've never heard of anyone talking about depression in that way. And that is so, I feel like it's liberating. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be this big dark cloud. And
Actually, I testified in court to that. Somebody asked me to be an expert witness to testify about depression,
oh
and
my
that's
goodness,
exactly what I said. Yep.
that's so cool. Yeah.
It was really very cool. It was really very nice. The other one is anxiety. That anxiety is not to be run away from, it's to be faced head on. Just head on, you count those butterflies, you check the colors, you see if they're flying around. And the minute you pay attention to them and not the worry story, life changes, because then it can jumpstart the superior intelligence of the body. The body shifts your attention to where you are right now, feels your tush on the seat, your feet on the floor, your eyes on the computer, and you're back in the present moment. It's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being present is free. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay for it. Really, it's nature's gift to us as humans.
Yeah.
So tell me how you feel.
I feel grounded.
Good.
Yeah, I feel a little bit lighter. I feel calm.
Okay, wait a second. I would like you to not use modifiers. Okay, and I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Not a little bit calm. Calm.
Okay.
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 The modifiers are slithering devices, which is you don't have to be accountable for it. But if you say,
Mm,
then that's what you are, and freer and clearer, and you stand in who you are when you don't use modifiers.
yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yes. And I am working on that too.
Good, because I love to listen to people and show them the structure of the communication, not the content.
Yeah.
So I listen always for the structure, not the content.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Which
Yeah.
is the structure is how the thought is created. What are the time-space words? What are the grammar? So I have a little story about the grammar, which is that I had to take it for some reason in 10th grade or something like that. So I would cut that class and go across the street and have pizza and orange soda because it was so boring, Well, who wants to know future past participles and all this stuff? But if they would have told you how it oriented you in time and space, I might have stayed because that's interesting. So it's really a lot about grammar, because the grammar lets you know where, and tenses let you know where you are in time and also where your focus is in space. So I am. Am is a present tense verb that lets you know you're in the now, and I is a pronoun that lets you know your attention is focused inside of you, not outside of you.
Yeah.
I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That also makes me think of the way that we talk to ourselves internally or externally, but how we talk to ourselves. And I think there it is again.
Yes,
Sometimes.
actually you said it one sentence before that too, but I wasn't going to stop you. But you got it yourself. That was really good. That was really good awareness, because you're putting your awareness on how you're saying what you're saying, not what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's a big shift.
Yeah.
Very big. So you need to be proud. Really, I'm serious, because that most people don't even know what I'm talking about, never mind can actually do it. So that was
Thank you.
good.
I
That was really
appreciate
good.
that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's the truth. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't actually, if it didn't actually happen. So
Yeah.
it's the truth.